Yo, what is the deal, everybody? What is the deal? Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Salute to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Guys, my bad. I thought I set this up for 7 o'clock. I thought I changed the time. I didn't realize that I was supposed to be on 10 minutes ago. But salute to everybody in the chat. It's the almost 100 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Now, listen, it's crazy, man, because and thank you guys for all the tomatoes. Appreciate all of the hate. I appreciate it. Please bestow all the hate upon me for being late to my own damn stream, man. I am so sorry. So sorry. But like I said, man, today they dropped the unofficial depth chart for preseason. The unofficial depth chart for preseason gives us a lot to work with, right? Because when you start seeing the people who are first and the guys who are the starters, that kind of gives you a blueprint to who's going to make the team and who's not, right? The starters and the backups are normally going to make the team, right? But then it's the other people in that positional group that are fighting for a position on this team. And that kind of gives us a blueprint to what we're looking at in the last preseason game. Now, I don't think Pete is going to play a whole lot of these guys coming up, but we're going to get into it, man. We are going to get into it. Shout out to the over 100 of you guys in the room. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. Share this thing out to all social media, all of my people that are over there on X, formerly known as Twitter. Hey, make sure that you follow me over there if you're not. And if not, you want to join in the Madcap Fund, the best freaking, community in YouTube, come on over to YouTube. Participate. We have cookies, man. Salute to everybody that said, my God, Pride and Purpose, 3 clicks. Raider Loso, DeMarcus freaking Webb is in the place. James Crap Dust Williams is in the place. Brandon Vandal is in here, man. Raider Primos is here. CGR is in here as always. Shaleeb is in the place. Brando, Raider Ryder, Mario Jr., man. Oh my God, man. I mean, it has been a veritable. Oh man, my guy Raider man. Yorkshire Raider, man. Oh my God, Donald and Stacy do certain things at night. My guy Steve Harbert, James Bowles is in the place, man. Oh my God, T4 is in the place. Johnny is in the place. So look, man, Mr. Cold Blooded is in here as well, and Devin Poindexter. So it's weird being here early. It's not weird. It's a great thing being here early because guess what? You get in on all the Madcap fun, my friend. So look, man, today a lot's going on right now. They on the Raiders website, man, they have the Raiders 53-man roster, and we're gonna put that up right now. I was in the process of doing that, and then I found out that I was supposed to be live 10 minutes ago, and then I kind of all went to hell, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go over, what's going on. Now, there's some dates that are very, very important, right? In week 1, all 32 teams will be reducing their roster to 53 people, right? So active rosters have to be down to 53, 1 p.m., August the 26th. And that's the initial roster, right? And, there are a few things that we're going to get into. We're going to get into, when players are waived and when players are released, the difference between that, the claim period. We're going to get into all that. As a matter of fact, let's get into that now, man. So if somebody is waived after final cutdowns, the Raiders can claim any player who was waived by their previous team. The claiming deadline is Wednesday, August the 27th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. The waiver wire claims will be awarded to the team with the highest waiver priority for the first 3 weeks of the NFL season. The NFL waiver order will be used in the first round draft order at first, right? And then it goes to the teams that have the worst records, right? So the Raiders are going to be 6th when it comes into the waiver request. The practice squads will be announced on August 27th as well. And you can have a total of 17 players on the practice squad. And the Raiders can sign people from other people's teams. And we've been seeing a lot of that. So, listen, we pretty much got into that, right? So now what I want to get into is I want to get into the depth chart, man. I want to get into the depth chart because, listen, man, this is the most important thing right now in preseason, right? You got guys on this roster that are fighting for a job. And we kind of need to know where everybody sits, right? So what I'm going to do is we're going to start with the offense. I'm going to put this up, and then we're going to get into it, guys. We are going to freaking get into it, man. Salute to everybody out there, man. Hold the effing phone here. There we go. It's time to rock and roll here. Now, wide receiver 1, Dante Thornton Jr. That's one wide receiver. Left tackle, of course, Colt Miller. Backup, Charles Grant. Dalton Wagner is on the bubble, my man. Left guard, Dylan Parham. Caleb Rogers is the backup. Just got drafted. That's very, very promising. They drafted those 2 backups. Gottlieb Adize and Antonio Mafi is 4th. It's not looking so good. Jordan Meredith, starting center. Will Putnam, it looks like he's our backup. They have Jackson Powers Johnson or Alice Kappa, which is insane to me. Alice Kappa just got back, but it's insane. And if Jackson Powers Johnson doesn't start, I am screaming I don't give a damn what nobody said. If that kid doesn't start, something is definitely effing wrong. Lockie Tossi's in 4th. Gerard Hufford is 3rd. It is looking like, and if I'm just being honest, that Alice Kappa will be the backup. DJ Glaze is our solidified starting right tackle. Thayer Munford is the backup, man. Looks like Thayer Munford is going to make it again this year. Of course, Brock Bowers, Michael Mayers, and Ian Thomas are all going to make it. Quadir Ishmael, I think, is probably going to be the odd man out. The other wide receiver on the other side of the field is Jacobe Meyers. His backup is Alec Bachman, man. Alec Bachman is just a guy just won't go away. We got Tommy Malott there at 3rd, but he's more of a special teams guy, so I think that's where his value lies, and that's how he's going to make the team. We got Trey Tucker being our 3rd receiver, Jack Best being behind him, and Philip Dorsett and Marquez Callaway. So they're fighting it out for a roster position. We all know Geno Smith's our starter. Aiden O'Connell's the backup. Cam Miller is the 3rd string guy. Do I see Aiden O'Connell losing his job? There are a lot of us, including myself, who are like kind of calling for the head of Aiden O'Connell because it doesn't look like he got any better. But if we're being honest, unless they go out and get somebody else, Aiden O'Connell will be the backup. You know what I mean? Starting running back, of course, is Ashton Genty, followed by Zamir White, and then Raheem Mostert. Chris Collier is 3rd stringer. Sincere McCormick and Dylan Labe is in 4th. Now, Dylan Labe is a special case. Another special teams guy, and so is Chris Collier, right? But Sincere McCormick, he's kind of on the clock here. Sincere McCormick has to make this team. And I don't know if he's going to be able to survive because it seems like this regime loves Zamir White. Pete Carroll always loves those power backs, and that is what Zamir White is at this point in his career, man. Salute to the almost 200 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this thing out to all social effing media. Shout out to my guy LV Smaximus, man. What's going on, man? Salute to Anthony, the biggest bum in YouTube history. I mean, I can't believe I blocked this guy last week. Yo, the great and powerful, the depth chart. Thanks for repping me proper, wasted. Fools be talking, but they really don't know me. Shout out to my guy, yo. Matt Marinovich, the man with the power mullet himself, is in a place, man. Kappa needs to just be an expensive offensive line coach. I mean, that's essentially, bro, at the end of the day, this is a good football team, but what the Raiders don't have is depth, right? And I think that is where the Raiders are going to run into some problems this year. I see us making incremental changes. I don't see us jumping leaps and bounds. You know, people say that Pete is a 10-win coach, and let's hope that that's true. But like I said before, I see us more 7 and 10-ish. You know what I mean? More 9 and 8-ish. That is where I'm seeing us, man. That's where I'm seeing this because, look, if I'm being honest, you don't make those leaps and bounds in one season like this. This is a 4-13 team. This is a team that was horrendous last year. Let's be for real. And you're coming in with a new coach, new GM, new quarterback, new running back, and there are a lot of changes. And there's a lot of reasons why people feel like we're going to make leaps and bounds of changes because we made a leap and bound change at quarterback. The upgrade at quarterback, I can't even quantify how good and how much better Geno Smith is than Aiden O'Connell. As far as from a head coach perspective, I can't even quantify how much better Pete Carroll is than Antonio Pierce. As far as from an offensive coordinator perspective, I mean, my God, we had Luke Getsy last year. And now we got, you know, one of the most innovative minds in football in the last 30 years in Chip Kelly. So, listen. Also, we had the worst rushing attack in the damn league. And guess what we got now? We got the number 1 running back off the board, the young phenom Ashton Jeanty. So, listen, I am of the estimation that I understand the hopium that is floating around this organization. I am of that estimation. The only problem is this, right? It's not like the other teams sat around playing tiddlywinks all offseason, right? So we have to get to where we need to get as an organization. But, you know, I'm sorry, I got an eyelash in my eye. But the thing is, it's going to take a little time, right? Now, I think this team is going to be, I think they're going to have an okay first half of the season. And I think they're going to really, really make a run for it at the end of the season. I think things are going to gel together a little bit better towards the end of the season, man. Salute to my guy, CGR. Appreciate the content. My guy, Bo Rock. What's up, my bro, Wasted? I believe we will be okay. It's just our secondary that's the main concern. Bo Rock, look, I'm going to be real with you. I think it's the entire defense that's our concern. Like, the one thing no one's talking about, and I'm putting the short out later, you know, I did it, and I'm going to put it out a little later, is that I think that the defense low-key regressed. I think the defense low-key regressed, and it's something that we are going to have to deal with as an organization. This is something we're going to have to deal with, man. There's not a lot of people talking about it, but I'm telling you right now, man, you know, losing Robert Spillane and losing, you know, some of the people that we lost is not, you don't, that just doesn't happen and you just get over that. You don't lose a linebacker like Robert Spillane. I'm not saying we didn't go out there and get some dogs, but the way Robert Spillane knew this defense and the plays he was making, you know, I have a hard time believing that that's not going to be some collateral damage, man. I'm sorry, man. Listen, man, I'm sorry. Yo, my guy, Accelerator Raider. Even the offense ain't going to be world beaters. This ain't T.O. and Randy Moss we working with. We have the most average of average receiving corps. Listen, it's not the fact that, you know, the receiving corps is completely average because you got to add Brock Bowers into the mix. He's a special player. Like, the thing is this, though. They got to gel. They got to gel. Geno's got to get on the same page with these guys. I think we're missing the mark, and I am going to throw some hopium into this. I really believe that this receiving core is going to take leaps and bounds, steps that people won't even realize until the end of the season. I truly believe that. I truly believe Trey Tucker is going to show up and show out this freaking year. Show up and show the F out, man. Wasted. Really starting to question Patrick Graham. We're going to get into that. Listen, look, if I'm being honest, I've already questioned Patrick Graham. You know, Patrick Graham is a good defensive coordinator at times, but it's too up and down. You know, everybody acts like this guy's Buddy Ryan or something like that. Like, he's beyond reproach. Listen, I'm going to need to see it. I'm going to need to see him actually be the defensive coordinator for a defense that is in the top 10. I need to see it. I'm sorry. Robert Cisneros goes, hot take. Our defense will be top 15. I mean, how the F do you know, Robert? The F up out of here with your crap. Hey, guys, do me a favor, man. Let me know. Did you guys hear them sound effects? How's it sound? How's the sound effect sound, guys? Let me know. Let me know. Because if they're working, I'm going to clap it up for myself. You guys can't hear it? What about this? Hold on. No sound? This is insane, man. Say what sound effect? Nothing. I blame all of you guys. You guys messed everything up. Blame every single one of you guys in the chat. So listen, let's get back to it, man. Let's get back to it, man. So let's get back to the defense, right? Now, the defense, it's the usual suspects. I don't think there's a whole lot of innovation and surprise with this defense. I really don't. I got to get back to the unofficial depth chart. We're going to share that with you guys. So the defense, of course, Max Crosby starting at defensive end. Tyree Wilson is his backup. Ja Joyner and Joffrey Harvey. Let me tell you something. Ja Joyner better make this team. And the Harvey kid, I would like if they put him on a practice squad. Defensive tackle, starter, Jonah Lualu. Oh, my God. He came out here and crafted himself a starting position, man. Salute to Jonah Lualu, man. Zach Carter, J.J. Pegues, Keandre Colburn. Wow, that's a group for you. I tell you that. That's a group for you. But the other defensive tackles, Adam Butler, Leaky Fotu, and Tank Booker. Trevin May is going to get cut. Tank Booker just got drafted. Tank Booker, they just brought him in. Tank Booker isn't going anywhere. J.J. Pegues ain't going anywhere. Jonah Lualu ain't going anywhere. Adam Butler ain't going anywhere. So they have to figure that positional group out. Defensive end, starting defensive end, Malcolm Kuntz. His backup, Charles Snowden, who was balling out of his mind. And Tonka Hemingway right there as the third defensive end. He's going to make it. Now, Andre Carter the second, we never knew ye. He might not make it. And, he just might not make it, man. It is what it is. Now, outside linebacker, Jermaine Pratt is the starter. Jamal Adams the backup. Mark Gaynor trailing in third, man. That's nasty work, man. Middle linebacker, Landon Roberts, Tommy Eichenberg, Cody Lindenberg, Matt Barrett, unless he's a special teamer, is probably going to be jettisoned out of here. Devin White's definitely going to make it, starting outside linebacker. Jalen Smith and Matt Jones. I hope Jalen Smith can kind of carve himself out something, man. I've always felt so bad for that brother ever since he came out of Notre Dame, man. He was looking to be a generational prospect, and he got hurt, man. So, listen, cornerback, starting cornerback, Darnay Holmes, Greedy Vance, and Kai Blue Kelly. That's a little weird because all I've been hearing is that kid, Kai Blue Kelly, has been balling out of control. So he's got to fight for his job. Then the other starting corner, Darian Porter, DeCameron Richardson backing up, Sam Webb backing him up. Awesome. That is awesome, man. Then Eric Stokes, JT Woods, John Humphreys, both of you guys probably never be seeing you this season. Isaiah Palmile is the starting free safety. Jeremy Chin is the starting strong safety. Chris Smith, the second, is his backup. And Thomas Harper is the backup for Jeremy Chin. Now, Trey Taylor's in third. That is a guy that I expect to make a run for this. And also, Terrell Emmons is a guy that I expect to make a run. They didn't bring him in for no reason. They did not bring him in for no reason, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. We got almost 300 in the room. Get wasted what your brother wasted. My guy, Cream Corn himself. This is what bothers me about Raider Nation, is that we always like to speak negatively, and that's what we wind up getting. There's that thing called the laws of attraction. Be positive, then see after. Now, listen, bro. From my perspective, what do you want me to do, bro? Do you want me to come on here every day and tell you guys that we're all special that we're all a bunch of special fuckers, and that, you know, the Raiders are going to win every single game, and they're going to go 17-0, and there's never a problem with the team. Is that what you would like me to do, bro? Because if that's what you want to hear, bro, then this ain't the place for you. I'm going to give you information, not freaking affirmation. God damn it. I'm going to give you information, not affirmation. Now, there's good energy in here. There's good energy. We're happy. But the thing is that we got to be freaking realistic about what's going on and what we're seeing in these positional groups. Because if not, then what the F are we doing? God! Wow! Come on, cream corn. You want me to do? Talk about rainbows and unicorn farts every day? Rainbows and unicorn farts, Cliff. Rainbows and effing unicorn farts. The F is going on here. Listen, man. Listen, we got to do that. Look, I am definitely a glass half full fan, bro. I'm definitely a glass half full fan. But I have a responsibility to give you guys the information. I mean, come the F on here. Now, guys, listen. Let's get into it here. Let's effing get into it here, man. Now, when we start talking about, the cuts, the cut days, right there, there's a lot of people around the league that will be available, right? I mean, that's just clear, right? You got the Jameis Winstons of the world. You got the Kenny Pickett's of the world. I mean, how receptive are you guys about the Raiders going out there and picking up another QB? I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I mean, listen, people say, we're talking about the backup quarterback. What the F are we doing here? Somebody said that to me in my comments. And I said, bro, I'm going to be real with you. Bro, not worrying about the backup quarterback in the offseason is like not putting a spare tire in the trunk of your car and then you getting a blowout on the highway. That's how I view it. Listen, every position is important. Every single effing one of them. Every single one of them. Now, listen, we got our list of concerns. We're going to get into this. Now, guys, listen, I need you guys to get active in the chat. My guy, Swift Raider, wasted. Really concerned about our secondary. Merrick and Hobbs did help, but not replacing those guys with a competent secondary is going to be our Achilles heel this season. We need a solid corner too. Now, look, bro. I got a real unpopular opinion, and I know you guys are not going to agree with me, but I firmly believe that getting rid of Nate Hobbs was one of the best things the Raiders could have ever done. One of the best things the Raiders could have ever done was getting rid of Nate Hobbs. And I'm going to tell you something, man. Nate Hobbs is a hell of a nickel. He is a hell of a nickel corner when he's healthy. But that's not very often. And he can't cover anybody on the outside. And you can't pay him like he's an outside, out-of-boundary corner just to do one thing, to essentially be a will linebacker. And Trayvon Merrick might be one of the most overrated guys in the National Football League. I mean, it's clear. I mean, he didn't really do much back there. That man was back there killing grass every day. It's killing grass, bro. He wasn't doing too much of nothing, man. I think we got an upgrade over him with Chin. Yeah, I said it. And I know LV, we got to breathe, and it hasn't even started yet. And I listen, I totally understand it. The biggest loss this Raider defense had, was Christian Wilkins. That's the biggest loss the Raiders defense had. I'm be honest with you. That's the biggest freaking loss that the Raiders defense sustained. I know a lot of people are gonna start doing all the making jokes about Christian Wilkins. But I'm gonna tell you something, man. Christian Wilkins is an all freaking pro. And like I said before, listen, you say what you want to say, but Pete and Spytech, when they came here, they probably said, man, we got Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby. We're going to build around this. Missing Robert Spillane. Robert Spillane was a hell of a linebacker for us. And we lost him. Now, it remains to be seen whether his replacement can play close to the same level he did. It remains to be seen. I'm going to be honest with you. So this defense has, on paper, kind of lost a little bit because they have not been able to really replace Nate Hobbs at a coherent level. And we're going to have to see. It's a wait and see kind of thing, man. Shout out to my guy, James Williams, with the first super of the effing day, man. Salute to my brother, James Williams, man. Because Nate Hobbs wanted too much money, and he is hurt right now. Chin is an upgrade over Merrick. And no, you do not trade a first for Hendrickson. Now, look, we're going to get into this Hendrickson stuff, guys. We're going to get into this Hendrickson stuff. People are connecting him to us. You heard it here first, right? Red Nation Unlimited. You definitely heard it here first, right? Look, the asking price for Hendrickson, to me, knocks us out of the box. I'm not giving up a first-round pick for an aging edge rusher. I mean, he's not 40, but he's over 30 years old. So I'm not picking up the freight and giving you my first-round pick. I'm not paying you. See, that's when it becomes really nasty work. When you got to give up your first-rounder and you got to pay this joker, and then if it don't work out, now it's a humongous cap hit, and you got to get rid of the asset for pennies on the dollar. That does not work for me. It don't work for me, man. I got to go full Hulk Hogan. It's not going to work for me, brother. It's not going to work, man. You can say what the F you want. It ain't going to work for me. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to my guy CGR with the $2 slapper Rooney, man. The $2 slapper effing Rooney. Yo, Mike Downs, this is a pillow talk. I can't wait for week 1. Let's get the real football. What the F you talk about? This is pillow talking. The F is up with you, Mike Downs. I mean, what the hell?
Tutorial, this you know what the fuck you doing.
Listen, if we want to talk Raider ball, we're going to talk effing Raider ball. Don't you start with your crap, Mike Downs. My lungs are feeling better now. I can yell at you. You better watch your effing mouth. Traded for stars don't effing work. How many years we got to go through this? Built through the draft is the only way to victory. But yo, Bodega wasted. I've had enough. To the gulags you go. To the gulags you go, Bodega wasted. Had enough of your crap. Had enough of it. To the gulags. Effing bum.
Shut your lame ass up, nigga.
The F up out of here, Bodega wasted. Had enough of his crap. To the gulags. So, guys, listen. When we start talking about this Hendrickson thing, right? Yo, salute to everybody supporting Bodega Wasted when he down in the gulags, man. He'll be back momentarily. He will be back momentarily. He had to do a little stretch in the gulags, man. Oh my God, man. But Trey Hendrickson, man, you know, there is a healthy compensation that the Bengals are looking for. Now they have not gotten close. They agree on average salary and contract length. That's what they're saying. Now, you know, ESPN's Lloyd Rutledge reported before the start of the Cincinnati Bengals preseason game with the Washington Commanders last night that Trey Hendrickson and his team have agreed on the years and the dollar amount total for a new contract, but not the guaranteed money. And Hendrickson reiterated that guaranteed money is the holdup in these contract negotiations, right? So you could possibly see him get re-signed by Cincinnati, right? But when you're talking about guaranteed money, you were talking about a player that if you bring him here, you are completely married to. And then if you have another weird situation, like Lord knows the Raiders, if any team knows what it's like to have a bad free agent signing and for a free agent signing to go awry, it is the freaking Raiders, bro. From Devontae Adams to Antonio Clown to Christian Twinkle Toes, freaking Wilkins. We have had a hell of a run of bad luck with free agents, man. You know what I mean? Corey Littleton. I mean, bro, I can go on and on and on and effing on, man. We have had a nice run of bad luck with certain free, big name, big ticket free agents. Trent Brown. I mean, my God. We have, listen, bro, yo, back in the day, going and getting Jeff George. The F up out of here with that crap. It's nasty freaking work out here in these streets, man, in this free agent market, man. It's nasty work, man. And we cannot fall victim to the banana in the tailpipe again. We just can't do it. Yo, and yo, somebody, yo, Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones, another one. Big money, Chandler Jones, man. I mean, bro, we could go on and on and on. Jack Jones wasn't a big time free agent, bro. Jack Jones is a guy we brought in here. He did all right for us. We like Jack Jones. You know, he did his numbers, and he's no longer a Raider at this point. But he wasn't no big free agent signing, bro. I mean, come on, you speeding right there, man. Come on, what the F you talking about? Effing Jack Jones, bro. So listen, the Trey Hendrickson thing. Now that I hear the asking price from the Bengals, to me, that officially takes the Raiders out of it. Now, listen, that is why it is a negotiation. You can ask for it, but it does not mean that you shall receive that. You can ask, but it does not mean you shall receive. You can ask, but it does not mean you shall receive. So we got to see what the Raiders are going to do with this. We have got to see what the Raiders are going to do with this. The F is going on here. Yeah, I mentioned Corey Littleton. Yeah, we got almost 400 in the room, man. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. So listen, guys. Jacobe Meyers and that deal has kind of come across, you know, my desk, right? And look, the Jacobe Meyers situation really needs to be buttoned up, I think. You know, now I know that if I'm being honest, the Raiders are looking like they are setting themselves up to move on from Corey Littleton. It feels that way to me. It feels that way to me because, listen, they've drafted two young wide receivers. The two young wide receivers are freaking, you know, when you talk about guys that have come in here and that are balling right now, these jokers are balling, man. These jokers are balling, man. Jack Besh, Dante Thornton are balling. These dudes are showing up and showing out. And if I'm real with you, I think that they're probably going to move on from Jacobe Meyers. Bodega Wasted has been back. Bodega Wasted is back. And you know what? He has this terrible picture up trying to lampoon me. You effing bum. Now, how was the gulags? How'd you enjoy it? How did you enjoy the gulags, you effing bum? Yo, what are y'all talking about in the chat, man? You guys are throwing me off here. Corey Littleton, of course he's been going. I said, yo, I'm talking about Corey Littleton being a bad free agent signing. You effing bums? What the F are you guys talking? Are you guys listening to the effing show? I mean, are you? We were bringing up bad free agent signings a long time ago. And then I brought up Corey Littleton. I'm not just talking about Corey Littleton today. He's been gone for like 8 years. The F are y'all talking about? Everybody in the chat, I gotta do it to a bunch of you bums.
Angry man, what you doing here?
Man, sit your ass down.
Talking about here. No shit. I said we set up to trade Corey Littleton. Did I say that? If I listen, if I said that, then forgive me. I gotta rewind it. Maybe I had a senior moment, but I was referring to Jacobe Meyers. Well, thank you. Well, thank you. You guys know I'm old, you sons of bitches. yeah, they wasted age caught up to him. Oh, my age done caught up to me and tapped me on my shoulder. Listen, I am not playing that Martin clip again, yo. Listen, you know what, guys? You know what? I gotta do it to myself, man. I gotta do it to myself, bro.
Angry man, what you doing here?
Man, sit your ass down.
I gotta sit my own ass down. I'm sorry, chat. Yo, Chef Kev gifted 5 Raider Nation Unlimited memberships to the masses. Appreciate you, bro. So that's why everybody's great. Well, damn it. Listen, don't you guys know the rules here? The rules are I'm right even when I'm wrong. Get the F up out of here. Raider Drox. Unc is losing his memory for real. Get the F up out of here. Am I right? They say I'm in my Flacco era. Oh my God, man. Congratulations to the newest members, yo. So look. Yo, Mike Downs. Not old, just older. Hey, wasted. Hell, wasted. I'll be 52 in November. Mike Downs. Yes, that's right. You're oldest Methuselah. Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat, y'all. But listen, man. Let's get into it, right? The Trey Hendrickson situation is something that, to me, is not a thing anymore. The Jacobe Meyers thing is something to where I don't know if the Raiders are gonna, really commit any money to him. It would be nice because he's a good vet to have in the locker room. But the way that it's looking, man, the way Jack Bech is looking in the small sample size that I've seen, the way that Dante Thornton is looking, I don't know if that's something that they would want to do. You got Trey Tucker, who looks like he's flashing. I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is the thing, man. With the AFC West, you can never get enough talent, right? And when you have proven moves that have been made, you kind of want to hold on to them guys. It's going to be hard enough for the Raiders to close ground on the Chiefs and the rest of the teams in the AFC West. And you don't close ground on them by allowing guys the caliber of Jacobe Meyers to just walk out of the building. You know? Yeah. You know what's funny? I definitely do need a cup of Joe. I need a cup of Joe, and the problem is that I don't have anybody to call for a cup of Joe. I really don't. I don't. My wife is on a call. My daughter's gone. My youngest daughter is asleep. This is effed up here, man. But guys, let's get back into the show. I am drifting. I have gone off on a tangent, damn it. This is crazy. But guys, look, so when let's get back to this whole situation that we got going on with, the 53-man roster, right? Now, this is the thing, right? You can kind of see the Raiders depth chart. You can kind of see who's playing for their life here, right? You can kind of see this. Now, this is the thing, right? Now, I'm going to add this to the stage. I want us to kind of go over the depth chart here. I want us to go over the depth chart, and I want you guys' opinion, man. This is a collaborative effort here. I want you guys' opinion. Who do you think out of the people that are in third and fourth place in a positional group we're going to keep? All right, now we're going to start in the defense. Now, Isaiah Palmau, Eric Stokes, Porter, Devin White, Atlanta Roberts, Jermaine Pratt, Jamal Adams, I think all going to make it. Right now, how many linebackers do we think we're going to keep? I think the Raiders are probably going to keep 5 linebackers. Right? So, I to me, right, unless one of these guys are special teamers like Cody Lindenberg or Barrett or one of these guys, I see it going Pratt, Atlanta Roberts, Devin White, Jamal Adams, Tommy Eichenberg. I haven't seen a lot of Jalen Smith, but Jalen Smith is older. He's a guy who's like kind of playing for his career. Matt Jones is been okay, and Amar Gainer is one that I would like to see the Raiders keep, but I don't know if he's going to survive this year. I mean, what do you guys think, man? If they're keeping 5 linebackers, what do you guys think? And salute to my guy, man, Jason Raider Demon King, gifting 5 Raider Nation Unlimited to the memberships to the masses, man. I appreciate you guys. Congratulations to the newest members, guys. The last preseason game is going to mean everything to these guys. But Huey P, let me ask you guys a question. Who do you guys think from a linebacker perspective, right? What 5 linebackers are you keeping? What, you know what I'm saying? Do you guys think, because like with Lindenberg, and I like Barrett too, I think the key to them guys staying on this roster is being special teamers, right? But if you're talking about the 5 linebackers, right? What 5 linebackers are you guys keeping? I don't think Jalen Smith has any chance of making this team. Yeah, you keep Adams, man. You keep Adams. If you're talking about the 5, Atlanta Roberts was brought here, bro. Free agent. Jermaine Pratt, definitely. Pratt and Atlanta Roberts are definitely making it. Jamal Adams has showed up and showed out. He's a Pete Carroll guy. He's changed his position. I think it's clear Jamal Adams is going to ball out. And Devin White has been showing up too. I think it's between Tommy Eichenberg and Amar Gainer, though. I think Eichenberg is the guy that's going to make it, though. I really do. I haven't seen much from Amar Gainer, man. And the thing is, I don't know whether Jamal Adams is going to start, but I definitely feel like there's certain positional groups, not positional groups, but packages that Jamal Adams is going to be out there. I think it's a reason that they brought Jamal Adams in. I mean, you got a guy that used to be an all-pro safety converting the linebacker, and Jamal Adams, people talk about Jamal Adams' coverage skills and his coverage grade, but Jamal Adams, man, in the first few years of his career was a hell of a cover safety. He was a hell of a safety, man. A hell of a safety in the beginning of his career, and then he had a lot of injuries. He had a lot of freaking injuries, man. I would really, to be honest with you, because his coverage grade was really, really low last year. But we gotta talk about sample size, right? We gotta talk about sample size. What I want to do is let me get Jamal Adams. Let's get Jamal Adams' career numbers, man. Let's get some of them career numbers, man. Let's get some of them career numbers. And I want to show you guys, man. I think Jamal Adams could be the key to us doing a lot better against tight ends, because we know that tight ends have routinely killed the Raiders over the last 10 years, man. I'm going to go all back 10 years. Tight ends have been notoriously a problem for us. I mean, and it doesn't help that we have some all-time great tight ends that have been in the AFC West. Like, if we're being honest, we went from the Shannon Sharp years to Tony Gonzalez to Antonio Gates being the same time to now Travis Kelce. We've had a hell of a run, a hellacious run in the AFC West with tight ends. So it's not just that we're bad with covering tight ends. The fact that we have, like, if you look at the list of great tight ends, out of the top 10 greatest tight ends of all time, we've had in the last 10 or 11 years, and even beyond that, we've had probably 5 of those guys. I mean, Sharp and Tony Gonzalez. I mean, Tony Gonzalez, in my estimation, might be the greatest tight end of all time. Antonio Gates just walked into the Hall of Fame. Travis Kelce, when he retires, will walk into the Hall of Fame. So we've had some tight ends in this damn division, right? But I think Jamal Adams is a guy that will definitely kind of quell that a little bit, especially from him coming from the situation he was with, being an all-pro safety. Now, those grades look nasty. I know that. I know them grades look nasty. It looks like it looks like this is what he's been, right? A box safety, right? But when we start looking back at his career, right? Let's go way, way back to 2017, right? 65 coverage grade, 75 run grade. I mean, the guy was phenomenal back then. I mean, freaking phenomenal. He was phenomenal back then. We're going to go through the first 3 years of his career, right? 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 74 solo tackles, run defensive snaps, coverage snaps, 562. He was ranked 28th, though, but still. All-pro guy. All-pro guy. And this is Pro Football Focus, right? This is rookie season. Let's go to 2018. Coverage grade 89.6. And I think these stats right here, are these stats from that year? Wait, I gotta see. Wait, are these stats from this year? Wait. So he was all-pro, second team in 2018, Pro Bowl selection all those 3 years, first team AP all-pro. I mean, the guy had he was a very good cover corner, bro. He wasn't terrible. He was not terrible. So, like, and I'm calling him a corner, he was a safety. But this is the thing. You're converting a guy who was a safety to being a linebacker. There has to be kind of a step up there. And this is a guy that could physically handle being a linebacker because he's put the muscle and put the weight on, man. The biggest problem with this team is we have a gap at corner. We got a gap at corner. Our safety room is fine. A lot of people don't like our safety room. I love our safety room. Now, what I want to see is how the Raiders are going to handle the Isaiah Pal-Mal thing. Is he going to start all the time at safety? Are they going to have him being kind of like a nickel corner, slot corner? Are they going to roam him around? Because he's a guy that definitely has a nose for the football, super athletically talented, big, rangy guy. He can get his hips around and he can cover. I think you're going to see a lot of Isaiah Pal-Mal just kind of roaming. I think that is what you're going to see. But yeah, I think the Raiders should definitely be mining the free agent market when it comes to corners, man, because that's the biggest problem with this team as I see it, man. I mean, and listen, Licky T, Jamal Adams and Jeremy Chin have been decent for us. But the thing is, we are going to need that coverage from the corners, man. Trey Taylor, too, is another guy I would love to see make this team, man. Would love to see him make this team. Now, defensive tackle, I think we're pretty much set there. Jonah Lualu is a guy that they're really, really high on. Adam Butler, of course, So if you're looking at that group, JJ Pegues, they just drafted. Zach Carter is a guy that I don't necessarily know if Zach Carter is going to make it, because I think Thomas Booker has kind of made him expendable a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it like this, right? If you're keeping 5 or 6 of these guys, right? I'm looking at it from this prism. I'm looking at it: Jonah Lualu, Adam Butler, Litke Fotu, JJ Pegues, T Book, Zach Carter. That's where I'm looking at it. And then all the rest of the guys are probably not going to make it. Yo, Christian Gillian, what's up, bro? What's going on? Yo, we got almost 500 in the room, man. Steve Harbaugh. Trey Taylor has had good special teams abilities. Let him develop more to see. I hope so. And if anything, I will hope that Trey Taylor, if he didn't make the roster, will be kept on the practice squad. He is a guy that I think is going to blossom and really be a player in this league. I would hate to see the Raiders let Trey Taylor walk out the door, man. Yeah, and Andre Carter he's looked great. He's looked great. So we got to look at how many defensive ends we're going to keep, right? I don't think we're going to have to stash Tonka on the practice squad. Tonka's a player, man. Said pick one, Trey Taylor or Chris Smith. I'm going to have to go with Trey Taylor. I think there's more of a ceiling there. Chris Smith has been surprisingly good. He was smacking people last game, man. Shout out to my guy UA Mel, the thick frame aficionado. The way Genty runs to contact at his size, he's not going to have a long career and definitely won't be generational. Damn near got a collarbone broke by a linebacker in week 1. Got ragdolled and flipped by another. Man, yo, UA Mel, thank you for the $10 smackaroonie, but you are tweaking. Super tweaking. Like, that's what you got from the 7 carries that he carried, UA Mel. That's what you got from that he's not going to be generational. Are you effing serious, UA Mel? Because you want Armin bum-ass Mimbu? The F is wrong with you. Bro, I watched, bro. He's a running back. He is a running back. Running backs can't avoid contact all the time. So what? So the hell what that he runs with bad intentions? You know what? There are guys at his size throughout this league who are stout and strong and run like that. He's going to be fine. Don't you come in with all your crap, UA Mel, like you do every freaking day. Every freaking day you do this crap. Throwing our guy under the bus. Nonsense, UA Mel. I mean, that is just some deep-rooted hate because we didn't go get a thick-framed individual. Mario Jr., Mario Jr., you are going to the gulags, bro. Yo, you listen, bro. I'm sorry, Mario. Listen, listen. You my guy, Mario Jr. You have definitely you need to be timed out for about 30 seconds for this comment, bro. Nasty effing work, man. Nasty work. This man said Genty is rocked up and thick. What the F? Yo, Mario Jr., you gotta chill, bro. You got to chill, yo. For real, bro. You got to chill, Mario Jr. You going to the gulags. That's it. You wilding, Mario Jr. Mario Jr., what is going on, bro? What happened to you, dog? Did you have somebody squirting baby oil on you when you made that comment? The hell is going on right now, bro? Oh my God, man. What is wrong with you, bro?
God! Wow!
Yo, Mario Jr. Yo, bro, you gotta come to the front of the congregation, bro. It's enough of this. Yo, you said those are Brock Bowers. No, don't try to put it off on Brock Bowers. Don't you do that, Mario Jr. That was your pause-worthy typing. That is all on you. Bodega Wasted, you get the F up out of here. Yeah, this is not the Late Night Wasted show. What's wrong with you? Crazy right now. It's a family show, Mario. It's a family show. Yo, so look, y'all. Let's get back to it, right? So we're going through the defense. Now, I think one of the rooms that I gotta ask you guys, right? So if you're keeping 5 corners, right? Right. So I gotta look at the numbers, right? How many they'd be keeping, right? So let's say they keep 5 corners, they keep 6, right? Who are the 6 guys do you see them keeping at corner, right? Because for me, it begins and ends with Darian Porter, Cameron Richardson. Of course, Eric Stokes is going to be kept. And then after that, Kai Blue Kelly has been showing up and showing out. A lot of people say Darnay Holmes. They must like Darnay Holmes. So Darnay Holmes is in that mix, right? So is Darnay Holmes, Darian Porter, Eric Stokes, Cameron Richardson. To me, Kai Blue Kelly. And if they're keeping a 6th guy, it's between Greedy Vance and JT Woods. Now, I've been hearing things about JT Woods, and the Greedy Vance stuff has kind of it's kind of slowed down. And yo, tags on, the corners got the nation worried. We're all worried. We're all worried. And the problem is, it's such a young group. We are not going to get heads and tails of what's going to happen with this group until the middle of the season. They're going to have to go through their growing pains. Like, look, long gone are the days of mining the waiver wire and bringing in guys that can start. There are only so many times the Raiders can go out there and find, that help, like Jack Jones, right? Where Jack Jones did his thing. They made a waiver claim, got him for very, very cheap. Or David Amerson. David Amerson had a very, very good time with the Raiders, right? For the first year or two he was here, right? So we got to develop these guys. So we have to, as a fan base, we have to kind of back up. We got to let these guys play. We got to let Pete develop them. We got to let Pete cook, man. We definitely got to let Pete cook, because this is what he does. And Rome wasn't built in a day. We got to remember that. Let Pete cook, man. We definitely do. Yeah, so look, I mean, to me, I'm seeing Greedy Vance being the guy that makes it. I think Greedy, man, and a lot of you guys from out west, y'all love Greedy. Y'all remember when he was in college and stuff like that. Yeah, he was burnt toast year 2, but the first year, he was balling his ass off, man. And DeMokes, you get the F up out of here. And you haven't had anything good to say since AOC MVP. DeMokes, I'm about to stop answering you. You know what, DeMokes? You are about to be demoted in the wasted talent army, DeMokes. You haven't come with the smack in a long effing time. What the F is wrong with you, DeMokes? You haven't come with it. You got to come with the smack if you want to be on Raider Nation Unlimited. Come with the smack. But at the end of the day, Rome was not built in a day. It's not built in a day. And we have to go into this with some things that are unknown. We have to go into this, and we have to keep an open mindset, because we have a lot of young developmental guys. And when you have a lot of young developmental guys, you have to let them do it. Let them develop these guys. I mean, come on here. I mean, now when we start talking about the defensive ends, right, I think this room is a room that you definitely kind of know who's going to make it, right? So, of course, Tyree Wilson, Max Crosby, Malcolm Kuntz, Charles Snowden, Tonka Hemingway. If you're keeping 5 and if you're keeping 6, I think that's Ja Joyner. Now, Ja Joyner is a guy that, man, if he gets on the practice squad, that's a guy that I can see another team swooping in and taking. Because Ja Joyner, man, looks the part. You know, big guy, was pretty successful in college. You know, he didn't have a lot of snaps as a defensive end in college, right? So, you know, the year that he did get a lot of snaps, Ja Joyner showed up and showed out. And you guys know I'm a big Ja Joyner guy. Raider Felon, you about to be blocked. This is a family show with your crap. Tony Collins, let's be real. The rest of the AFC West is going to cook these cornerbacks. They might and they might not, though. Like, let me ask you guys a question. What happens if these guys can round into shape? What happens if these guys can adjust the Pete's system and get coached up and use some of that athletic talent and range that they have? What happens if these guys are good? What happens if these guys are beneficiaries of a supreme pass rush? The better your pass rush, the better your secondary plays. Like listen, it's not written in stone that the Raiders are going to get cooked in the secondary. It's not written in stone, because what happens if Tyree Wilson shows up and shows out? Like my man UA Mel, the thick frame aficionado, says, the key to this defense will be Tyree Wilson if he can play up to his draft status along with Kuntz and Butler. Already know what Max will do. If the front four can get after the passer, we good. Yo, this is the first good thing UA Mel said in a long effing time. It's like, nah, shout out to my guy UA Mel. Wasted. But you know what was built in a few months? A Super Bowl winning Commanders went from worst team to a Super Bowl team after they drafted Jaden Daniels and added a coach. Yeah, but listen, the NFC, if we're being honest, does not have the level of competition that the AFC does. Even the NFC least, right? The NFC East has been the Super Bowl champions are in the NFC East, right? But the Dallas Cowboys are not really a threat. The Giants were picking at the top of the draft, right? And, you know, Jaden Daniels had that kind of – there's always one young quarterback that comes in and sets the league on fire, sneaks into the playoffs, and then once the second year rolls around, once they start getting game tape on him, it kind of slows down a little bit. Like, look at C.J. Stroud. So let's pump the brakes on that. But it wasn't like the Redskins' path to the bowl was commiserate to what your path is in the AFC. And they didn't go to the Super Bowl. They were one game away from going to the Super Bowl, James Williams. He said that wrong. Yeah, and Super Marcron. Yeah, I think Ja Joyner is going to have to at least get a sack or two. I haven't seen much of him in the preseason. Telling you right now, man. Am I concerned about Kuntz? Yeah, because normally the timeline for knee injuries and lower extremity injuries is the second year after they come back. You have people like Adrian Peterson who come back in the same year, but he's not a mere mortal, right? But most people, when they have lower extremity injuries, it takes them a year to recover from that. So yeah, I'm very concerned about Malcolm Kuntz. I am. That's one of the reasons why, you know, if the Raiders were to throw their ring in the hat, if they were to throw their hat in the ring, senior moment there, I'd have no problem with them packaging, and that's if you can get them from trying to get a first for Trey Hendrickson. That to me, that's a deal killer right there. As a non-starter, the highest I'm going for him, if I gotta pay him and give you a player as a third rounder, Malcolm Kuntz will be the guy with red circle to send off. That would be the guy. A favor for a favor. Harvey might not make the 53, but probably still can rush better than rush the QB better than Tyreek can. Yeah, but see, this is the thing, bro. It's not just about rushing the passer, right? Like, and that's a huge part of the equation. But Tyree Wilson is stout against the run. You know what I'm saying? And he sets the edge, you know, and can get after running backs. And one thing that Tyree Wilson has, right, that Harvey doesn't have, is he kind of has like a plot armor. The guy was drafted 7th, and they got to see where that's gonna go. They got to see where that's gonna go, man. Traded for Vita Vea. I'm satisfied today. What you mean? The Raiders ain't trading for Vita. Tampa Bay is not letting Vita Vea go, man. If they traded for Vita Vea, man, bro, that dude, man, is gonna walk in the Hall of Fame, bro. Vita Vea, man, is not going nowhere, bro. He's not going nowhere. Tampa Bay is not trading him, bro. They're in the business of winning football games too. He's not going nowhere, bro. There's no credible trade rumors for Vita Vea, man. The guy's a stud. He's not going anywhere. All pro, not going anywhere, bro. I would love it, but it is what it is, man. Mary Jr., something tells me that Patrick Graham won't be here. Listen, it's either he's going to get fired or Patrick Graham is most likely going to get a head coaching job. It's either one of the two. But Rob Leonard will probably be our defensive coordinator next year. And look, man, with the Kuntz thing, man, I think that, you know, what the Raiders are going to need, you know, everybody keeps talking about, you know, Tyree Wilson. Tyree Wilson has to develop as a defensive end. Now, he's great when you put him at defensive tackle, right? But I think the thing that's going to save the Raiders from a defensive perspective is if Tyree Wilson develops it to one of those hybrid kind of defensive tackles, defensive end guys, a Justin Tuck, so to speak, you know, a guy or a guy like Michael Bennett, where you can move him all around and he could be effective, just as effective off the edges as he is up the middle. Bo Rock, I think if there are moves to be made, I think, yeah, they will. Because, look, the problem with this Raider team is not the frontline guys for the most part. It's the depth. It's the depth, you know? So it's like, you know, some of these guys that we got starting in certain places on this team should really be depth. They shouldn't be starting. And I think if there's a move to be made, Bo Rock, yeah, I do. But that move has to materialize in the sense where, you know, like the Trey Hendrickson thing. That's a move that you can make. Right. But is that a move that makes sense for the Raiders? Right. That's a huge move. But they're going to be some lower rung moves, aging players that the team sends that is going to tend to move off of, but still has something left in the tank. Like, those are the moves that we need to kind of like walk up and slap us with, you know? I think Andre Carter makes the practice squad. I don't think so. You know, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'd be 100% okay with Rob Leonard as the new DC. Now, I would too. But let's get into the season first, man. Patrick Graham might have a terrific year because he has those ebbs and flows, those peaks and valleys as the defensive coordinator, right? I think he's always in a situation where the coach is being moved and he kind of survives, but it's not the best thing, right? So if you want to build a stout defense, you know, you want it to be like when Spagnuolo was really, really at the height of his powers. That Steve Spagnuolo defense, or like Monty Kiffin for years with the Tampa 2, or Buddy Ryan. Like, you want Marvin Lewis, right? Rex Ryan, Footsex Rex down there in Baltimore with the Ravens. And he took on a tradition that Marvin Lewis started, Mike Nolan, all of these guys, and he just kept it rolling, man. And the Ravens are still a formidable defense. So sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? Ty, I'm prepared for a long year, if you know what I mean. I hope for the best, bro. Listen, just and look, there are a lot of people that are saying, you know, the Raiders haven't gotten any better. You know, Dan Orlovsky was killing us. There are people in the media, they always do that, right? But let me tell you guys something. Would you say that the Raiders upgraded their quarterback position? Give me a 1 in the chat if you guys think that we upgraded their quarterback. If you guys think we upgraded their running back, give me a 1 in the chat. Just give it to me, right? So you've changed your quarterback, you've changed your running back, and you went out and got one of the best offensive coordinators in professional football and college football, and Chip Kelly. So those 3 big things were addressed. Colton Miller is healthier. You know, DJ Glaze is a year older, a year wiser, a year stronger. You went out in free agency and got a backup running back who has had some success in this league in Raheem Mostert. And you also, instead of throwing a baby with the bathwater, you kept Zamir White, who's most likely better in a platooning running back room. Because when he was at Georgia, he was not the bell cow down there either. So look, man, you know. And yes, we upgraded the tight end room too because of the progression of Brock Bowers. Like everything is upgraded. So if you're under the estimation that the team is better, okay, you go from we might not go from the basement to the penthouse this year, but goddamn it, we going from the basement up to the living room, up to the second floor. That's where it's looking for me. 7-9. 8-9, 9-8-ish. It's looking like that because you're gonna have times in this year where these DBs are not going to continue to get cooked. They're just young. You got a first-year guy, second-year guy. Eventually, in the middle of the season, they will figure it out. And because all of that stuff is tied into how many opportunities you get to play. Reps. When these guys play all the time and they're being depended on and called out and picked on, they're either gonna rise or they're going to falter. They're going to rise, they're going to falter. And if you falter, you're going to falter your way out of this league. So they're going to have to rise. We got better at QB, head coach, running back, wide receiver. We did better. Yeah, we got better. So that means if you're a better football team, you should most likely win some more games. The culture is right. Everybody's bought in. The team is as one. And you have a guy that knows the right buttons to pitch, to push. Yeah, it was nasty work, man. Dan High Stakes Orlovsky, the out-of-bound guard. Man, nobody listens to that 6'4" guard gnome looking fool. The F up out of here. Get the F up out of here with your crap. Talk about the Raiders are gonna. Man, I can't effing believe that guy.
You know, I think it's absolutely disgusting.
I do too, Stephen A. I do too. I don't know why you guys let that guy on your network. Toasty Toppers. 9-8 is too low. We're overlooking the fact of how good Geno is, adding in Chip playing calls, and we'll be way better than many are thinking. But way better is us only winning 7 games. We are 4-13, yo. Winning 3 more games than you did the previous year is a good season. It really is. And then the thing is, like, yo, at the end of the day, man, what do you want me to tell you? What do you want me to tell you, bro? You want me to sit up here and tell you that rainbows and unicorn farts were favored to win the Super Bowl, Toasty? It's not too low. It's realistic, man. It's realistic as far as I'm concerned. Unceremoniously blocked up in here. But guys, listen. It's been a wonderful show, right? I don't think it's a whole lot that I missed. I mean, do you guys want us to stay on a little longer? But I think it's time to wheel the train back into the train station, man. We're almost an hour and 20 minutes in. I think it's time. We got almost 500 in the room. I think it's time. Man. Appreciate you, CJ. You guys really thought this was not my best work. I didn't think it was a great show. If you guys did, then great. Yeah, Raider found 7 wins are realistic. Yeah, we go 9-7. That's double. Well, it's not 9-7 anymore, but it'll be 9-8. But yo, that's double our win total. Over double it. That's great. Thank you, guys. I like Kendrick better than Joey, but I like Joey badass too. But Kendrick, man. Yeah, the Yankees have collapsed. The Yankees. I don't know. Let me start talking about the effing Yankees, man. Yeah, but that's the Commanders, though, bro. The Commanders are in a division with a hurt Dak Prescott. They were in a division last year with Danny Penny's being sad. They had Tommy Millott they were playing against last year. Like, bro, they got a bunch of cheap wins last year. This is a little bit different with us, bro. Unless Patrick Mahomes gets slammed on the back like the jabroni he is, we're going to have a problem here. Because we got to go through him and Sherbert, and we got to see if Bill Nix is any good. So, guys, listen. I'm gonna get out of here. You guys have a terrific night. Tap in with me. You guys let me know if there's anything that you want us to do shorts on. Yo, if you guys have not hit the subscribe button, I'm sure most of you have. Please do it. It helps the algorithm. It helps everything we got going on here at Shieldmore. And shout out to my guy. Shout out to my guy, man. Spider Mac is in the place, man. Spider Mac, where the F you been? But guys, listen, it's time for me to get off this air. I'm running out of breath. I got to go take a breathing treatment. You guys have a terrific, terrific night, y'all. Peace. Get the F up out of here with this crap. Talk about me being realistic. Got me up here getting ill, man. Get the F up out of here. You guys have a good night, man. Peace.